Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about Chroma, Warframe's good old Dragon Boy. So Chroma has been around the block a little bit to say the least. And a part of that comes with having a lot of different builds and changes and adjustments that we've made over the years. One of those adjustments has been the constant change of what is the immortal Chroma build. And the most recent one that we have now, I think is really strong, and I'm a big fan of it. So I'm going to very much be showing that off. As a quick little heads up, though, if you do the full like investment into it, it can get kind of expensive. However, I'm going to show you a mod that you can remove and it'll take some of the cost down. So let's go ahead and get into the build and I can show you how to make mod choices and how to maneuver some things around here. So starting with the Archon Shards, I've got 3 health shards, I have an equilibrium shard, and then I've got a corrosive stack increase shard. This one's mostly just for like reducing more armor from corrosive damage and things like, or corrosive status and things like that. But of course, like what I usually say, these are all up to taste. You don't have to run these. None of these are mandatory. You can just use what you want, and then depending on what you change with the build that I show off, you could change all of them, you could change none of them. Depends all on you. Alright, so I'm going to go over the mods here just really quickly. So growing power gives us more power strength. Chroma loves power strength, shock and surprise. Prime sheer footed, needs no introduction, we just don't get knocked down. Guardian armor is the augment for Vex armor, and this is very important for the build because this is going to give us our healing so that we don't need like an external source of healing or whatnot. And this also gives us more duration on our Vex armor so that we're not just always recasting it, so that's very nice as well. Hunter Adrenaline is going to give us a bunch of energy because well, spoilers, we don't have shields. So Hunter Adrenaline is going to give us a bunch of energy because of that, because all damage we take is just going to, well, be directly to our health. Transient Fortitude and Blind Rage, helping out with the power strength needs. Narrow-Minded, this is all of our ability duration. And then rounding out the mod part is Umbral Vitality and Umbral Intensify. For the Arcanes, I have Arcane Persistence, Shock and Surprise. We don't have shields, so I'm using Persistence. And the last Arcane here is Arcane Battery. So, notable little mention here. We don't have shields, and our armor value isn't enough to really activate Persistence at the start of the mission. So what is very important now is that you, in order to get the armor bonus from the Vex armor, you need to get melee kills. It's not a lot of melee kills, you just need to get like a handful or two. So, and then that will give you a bunch of armor to go ahead and then activate both Arcane Persistence and then Arcane Battery. Well, Arcane Battery is already activated, but this will take you to the max 1,000 energy that you're going to get, because this will synergize with the primary I'm going to show you that is using Overcharge. And yeah, this is pretty much the build that I have landed on, and this has been working out very nice for me. Quick thinking is here just in case if like we do run low on health or run completely out of health, we can just start to energy tank, and then that's really nice. The mod that you can take out that will save you a bunch of space is Umbral Vitality, funny enough. So what you can do is if you do want the extra health, you don't technically need it, but if you do want it, you can go ahead and instead of the other 2 shards that you saw me have with the equilibrium and then the corrosive status shard, what you can do is you can just make those be max health shards. So you can run 5 max health shards, and then you'll be basically almost at 1500 health, and then your power strength will be almost at 300. So you're going to be a little less health and a little less power strength, but you're going to have, like, I have 15 extra capacity for this. So depending on like what mod you choose to run here, you might be able to save like 2 whole forma, which can be, you know, really great for just trying to not just spend all the forma you have on like one little build. So little way to make the build cheaper, but this is what I have run. I just like having all the health because I just like Chroma being a big old bag of health, and it helps with the, you know, health tanking part of this and whatnot. Going a bit over the abilities here, I am running the heat for my emissive. Let me show that so people can know what I'm talking about. So with Chroma's elemental ward here, the emissive that you choose will change what you get. So mine's on heat, so if I change this to something like blue, it's going to be electricity, and then electricity will, well, that one will go off of shield, so I don't have that. I wouldn't want that. But again, depending on what you choose, it's going to change what passive you get, or passive, what ability you get, excuse me, from his elemental ward. And I think it's funny that this is so long that you can't really read that it says elemental ward all the way at the top. And then for the subsume, I am running Nourish. If you're, you know, sick of seeing Roar and Nourish and all the usual offenders, I also use this same exact build with Bright Bonnet, and this worked very, very well. So if you wanted to just take out Nourish and use Bright Bonnet, this will easily fill that gap. The biggest difference is that it'll take maybe a little bit while longer to get your energy up to max to go ahead and help with the primary overcharge that I have on the primary weapon. And then you're also not going to be spreading as much viral, but you can also run a companion for that. So those are choices that you can make. I did just mention Roar. You do not want to subsume Roar onto Chroma, because if you do, you would be removing Vex Armor, and we don't want to do that. We get a lot of damage and armor from Vex Armor, so yeah, we do not want to just remove this. And then also talking about the damage from Vex Armor, the damage increase that you see, it's like a serration, so it's just flat damage. So when you're using Chroma, this is why you'll see a lot of builds just not have a lot of base damage in them, because this is basically all the base damage that you need out of it. Like, we're getting almost 850 base damage, which is, you know, that's a lot of serrations. So yeah, that's a little heads up and a little demonstration of like the mods that I picked, things that you can change and whatnot. So let's move on. Let's talk about the companions here really quick. I am using Worm, and this is the mod setup. Using this here for negate, just to negate any like weird magnetic procs or anything like that that may pop up. The reinforced bond is nice for the fire rate increase as well. So this is that build. And then I am running the Tazakor. I am running the corrosive cold build that I've showed off a few times. This is going to shred a bunch of armor. It's also going to freeze them in place too. So this will make me getting a few melee kills be fairly trivial, because everything's just going to be frozen. If you did want to run Bright Bonnet and you wanted a companion to spread some viral, I would recommend the Panzerwelpe here, and I'm just going to show that off here too. Here is a little build for a Panzerwelpe if you wanted to use one. This will be just fine. And then here are the mods for the claws that you can run. Quick little note though, with you running shocking claws here, if you had to go ahead and run something like Archon Stretch to go ahead and proc the extra energy, this would work on that, because of the abilities that the companions use do proc Archon Stretch. So that's why that is set up like that. Whoops. Go back in here. I need to change this. So I'm going to put this back to worm really quick. Here we go. And that's on the Tazakor? Yes, it is. Okay. Alright, and then the primary that I'm going to be using is the Coda Base Assist. And this is the primary overcharge that I was talking about. So with this, you want to, all the energy that we have is going to give us this this cap, and it's going to give us 350% multi-shot, which is going to be crazy. This is just going to run through enemies like a knife through hot butter. And as you can see, I am not running any base damage on this. And well, this loadout says Chroma, so I know that. Now then, notably, I am running the Galvanized Savvy, the gun CO as it were, on the base assist. This is basically what the base assist is. It's basically coded very pretty much like the Archoplasmor, and just like the Archoplasmor, gun CO, the Galvanized Savvy here, this is not treated as just raw damage. This is treated as multiplicative damage. So everything that we're hitting, it's going to be amplified by Galvanized Savvy. So we are very much going to hit like an actual freight train. So yeah, this is, to say that this is good is a little underselling it, but yeah, this is pretty damn strong. And then the melee is also important. I am choosing to use the Coda Path Assist here. Just a little grave to go ahead and just throw out and get a bunch of kills really quick. This is just the Glade build that I've been using. Nothing fancy here, nothing, you know, too earth-shattering. If you do not have this, then just use whatever strong melee weapon you want to go ahead and rack up those kills fairly quickly. You only need like a quick little handful or two. It's not going to take you very long to go ahead and get it. The secondary can be any secondary that you want to. I'm just choosing to run the Kuva New Core just to proc and prime a bunch of statuses. If you wanted a damaging build, here is that. But I'm going to mostly just be using the base assist because, well, I really like the gun, and I'm going to be showing off just the damage that you can do with it thanks to this build. Alright, and I think that's everything. Also running Xeneric here, but I shouldn't really need that. But yeah, that is the build, and that is everything, I think. So let's go ahead and show some of this off in a little survival. Get this going.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the canvas of war.
Alright, so cast the 2 really quick so that we can just get some quick little extra health, and then throw. Oh, I think I'm going to cast this. Yep, I need to cast it. I think I already have the, yeah, I already have the bonus. I only killed like a couple of them. So there's that. Let's go ahead and use this. And yep, so right now I don't have as much energy as I need, but I can just get some skills really quick and just get this up. I can be attacked a little bit, and yep, you can see me just getting a bunch of energy thanks to the Hunter Adrenaline, and like I mentioned, they're all kind of frozen because of the Tazakor build that I have, and that's at 7 million. So yeah, this is, when I said freight train, I did mean freight train. And now there we go. Nourish. Giving us the viral. Get ready for a capsule. Yeah, it is very, very hard to die like this, to say the least. That's at 40 million. It is, I'm going to say it's impossible, you know, to die necessarily, but you'd have to, you know, fall asleep at the wheel, as it were, to just go through the multiple layers of survivability that this build has. And yeah, this is Chroma in the big 2026. I might show off I think that's at 30 million. I need to look into like the credit farming with Chroma build and whatnot. Maybe I'll show that off in the future too. Don't really read credits, but I know a lot of other people might, so that might be something I look into and share in the future. But yeah, this is what I'm gonna be doing, and well, this is what the basis can do. And man, this thing wrecks. There we go. A little bit of that. There we go. Stop. Oh, and for those of you that are still here, don't forget that there is the death stream tomorrow, and I think it's a double drop. So, please remember to go ahead and watch that death stream to go ahead and get some goodies. I think it's I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I think they're giving out a Omniforma and a shard. I don't remember if it's Calforce or not, but a free shard is a free shard, and Omniforma is always nice. So, yep, just as a little heads up, or reminder, I guess, for those of you who knew this and forgot. But I'm gonna try and watch that tomorrow, because I want those drops as much as you guys do. But, yes, we are almost done here, and yeah, to say that this isn't, you know, anything is an understatement. So we can just kind of, or I can just kind of stand here and, well, Tazakor is working a little too well, I think. Because he's just freezing everything. Oh, well, that's a magnetic rock. That's not good. Because that thing deactivates a lot. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it takes a lot to kind of, like, get through everything. And then here's the healing and whatnot from that. But yeah, if they were to, like, get all the way down to my health, then that's when the quick thinking would kick in and whatnot, so... Where'd he go? Nowhere, where'd he go? There he is. We are just about... Oh, no, we are actually done. Alright.
Extraction is available if you need it.
Alright. Well, I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something. I hope the cost doesn't, like, scare anyone away. I think that, like, just taking out the Vitality mod, I think does save a bunch of Forma, or at least 2, you know, depending on what you pick. So I think that can still be, like, a decent little build option for people. So, hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. I'm out of here. More vids are on the way. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.